Well, hello there, fellow geeks and geekettes, and welcome to another video. Today I would like to talk about behavior, and more specifically, the behavior of one Tom King. For those of you who don't know, Tom King is a comic book writer currently at DC Comics. He used to be a Batman writer until the editors and the publishers finally realized that the sales were going down and down and down because Tom King is a shit writer. He can't write good comic books. I would not like to go into his personal life. Of course, that his life is reflected in his work of art. He was apparently working for CIA. He went to Afghanistan and he went through some traumas and stuff like that. And as a result of this, each and every male character that he writes is a whiny little cock who weeps and cries all the time. And the most striking of them is the already aforementioned Batman, who was throughout the entire run of Tom King lying in the bed or lying on the beach crying that he is depressed and that people don't like him, and Catwoman was doing all the work for him. She was his mommy, not really his wife as she was supposed to be. Then of course they didn't marry, and that pissed off a lot of fans. So every single comic book that Tom King touches is instantly destroyed. But I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the fact that he's a bad writer. I'm talking about the striking behavior that I am observing from the heart of Europe. And I am thinking to myself, how can grown-up people in the United States of America who are working in in the publishing industry behave like little children? And think that they are the most important people in the world. I mean, it all seems so ridiculous to me. I mean, look at this. This tweet that he tweeted today. He was at a con, and the tweet says, "Love seeing people at cons. But yesterday we had a Rorschach cosplayer who took his mask off at our table. You think I swear a lot in comics? You should see me in person. After an impolite talking to, Rorschach was escorted from the con. Wear your mask, we're not fucking around." Now, there have been a lot of other tweets that were saying that this isn't true, that this didn't happen. Now, in this case, I don't know what's worse. If this was true, then the behavior of Tom King was absolutely inappropriate. I do not want to go into the political aspect of wearing masks. This is not a channel for these things. This is a geek-oriented channel. I will leave this to you. But if he wanted to point out the fact that the fan should have been wearing a mask, he could have done it a little bit more politely. We are people, after all. And the fan was quite apparently looking forward to meeting Tom King, because Tom King is currently writing a Rorschach comic book series. So he might have just, whatever. Pull the mask down for a bit, or didn't wear it at all. It doesn't matter. It's really irrelevant at this point. In this context, in this moment. If he wanted to point it out, Tom King, he could have done it more politely. We are people, after all. It seems to me that people, especially famous people in the American comic book industry, are forgetting about good manners. We can deal with differences in opinions, a little bit more politely. And if this didn't happen, it's just a clear looking for attention. It's an attention-seeking tweet. Because the American comic book industry is a sinking ship, all the good writers and artists are leaving for Substack, for Indiegogo, for Kickstarter, for Amazon, and Webtoons, and all the publishers and things like that. And all who remains, really, are incompetent SJWs. So nobody reads their comics, nobody likes their comics. Only maybe 12 psychos on Twitter, as your boy Zach says. And so they need some sort of attention. And the only way, it seems to me, that they are able to get attention is by being cunts on Twitter. So the point of this video is me really wondering about people in the comic book industry in America behaving like little kids, and worse than little kids. You should grow up. Just grow the fuck up and start behaving like an adult, Tom King. Alright, that will be all from me. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and yeah, that will be all. Bye.